Okay, so today we're going to talk about 7.5, which is all about the properties of logs. So your essential question is how can you use the properties of exponents to derive your properties of logs? So hopefully from that you understand that they will be similar, right? So I'm just going to list the properties, and then there's also a change of base formula, and then from there we'll get into examples from the homework. So you have three properties of logs. Can't really see that with the light. Oh, yikes. There we go. Oh gosh. Okay. So your first one is the product property, which says that if you are multiplying some log to base b mn, then that is the same as adding. I'm going to run out of space really quickly. That's the same as log base b of m plus log base b of n. So you'll just add them together. Your second property is the quotient property, which says that if you have log base b of m over n, that is the same. This is where you see how we multiplied, so we added. Now it's the same as your exponents. So here, the same thing. You're going to divide. And just like in exponents, when you divide, you subtract. So that's what we're going to do here. So we'll have log base b of m minus log base b of n. And then you have the power property. So if you have log base b of m to the n, that is the same as n log base b of m. Okay, so those are your properties. And then the next thing that we need to talk about is your change of base. So if you want to notice how all of these have the same base b, right? So if you have log base b of m plus log base q of n or something like that, you'll need to change the bases so that they can be the same so that you can actually combine them. Okay, so if you have if you have log base c of a, then that's the same as log base b of a divided by log base b of c. So you'll divide them. So then there's just like this other piece to help you. So log base c of a could also just go straight into log of a, which means it's log base 10, and log of c. Okay. And log base c of a is equal to the natural log of a over the natural log of c. Okay. So, let's just do some of your homework using these properties and the change of base. So your homework is 9 through 31 odd. So we'll just start with number 9 first. So number 9 is log base c of 6 minus log base 3 of 2. So we're going to use this quotient property here, right? They have the same base. So we're going to divide, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is going to be log base 3 of 6 divided by 2, which is going to be log base 3 of 3. So that should be letter B. So subtraction, so I knew I needed to divide. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, number 10 is not one of your options, but let's just do it so that way we know. So this is 2 log base 3 of 6. So we know if we have a coefficient of our log here, then that's the same as raising it to the power. So this is the same as log base 3 of 6 squared. So log base 3 of 36, which would be option D. Cool. So hopefully you kind of get the hang of what we're doing there. So 9 through 12 was just match the expression with the log that has the same value and then justify your answers. You could just justify it with what property you use. Okay, then 13 through 20 says to expand your log. So let's do 13. Yeah. So 13 says log 3 of 4x. So the 4 and the x are being multiplied together. So we need to use our product property up here. So to expand that, I'm going to say it's log base 3 of 4 plus log base 3 of x. And that's it. So 15, kind of similar. It's log base 10. In 17, you have a natural log. Let's do 17. So 17, you have the natural log of x over 3y. So that's the same as x divided by 3 and x divided by y, right? So when I go to expand this, I'm going to have the natural log of x minus the natural log of 3 minus the natural log of y. So I'm just going to keep subtracting them since they're all being divided. In 19, don't forget that your square root is the same as an exponent, so you'll have to do your power property there. To 31, what's the next section? In 23 through 30, it says condense your log expression. So you're just doing the same thing, but backwards. Do you even have to do any of the change of base in these problems? I don't think so. Yikes. So your homework is just this property of logs here. But I'm going to do a change of base example because I think it's important that you know how to change your base. They apparently do not, because they don't have that anywhere in here. So interesting. Okay. So let's just go for it. So we want to find log 3 of 8. maybe it's not so important because like every calculator y'all have now lets you use whatever base you want, right? Like in Desmos or on the graphing calculators at school, we've all seen how to get the base that you want. So maybe it only matters for me when I didn't have the opportunity to do a different base. We always had to use log base 10. I don't know. Okay, so then you can just do log base 10 of 8 divided by log base 10 of 3, and you get 0.9031 divided by 0.4771, which is about 1.893, which is good. Yeah, maybe that's why it was so important for me to learn how to do the change of base formula, but it's not important for y'all. Because y'all can do literally whatever you want with your calculators. Okay. That's so interesting to me. So to change your base, you just do log 3 at the bottom, log 8 at the top. Whatever your base is goes at the bottom. Whatever your number is goes at the top. And that's it. 7.6 will be divided into 2 days. So we'll do that. And then that wraps it up for chapter 7. I feel like we moved pretty quickly through chapter 7. And then we'll move on to chapter 8. Don't forget, chapter 8 is what your final exam is over, so don't just skim the notes and not do your homework or copy down people's answers or whatever it is that you guys like to do. Make sure you're actually studying for it. There won't be test corrections on chapter 8, and there won't be any bonus points for your final exam. So make sure you're doing your homework with integrity and intentionality. Make sure you know how to do chapter 8.